A lot of people still imagine danger like a cartoon. Like there are good people on one side, evil monsters on the other, and between the two, some giant glowing moral border. Cute theory, convenient theory, completely useless theory. Because predators do not live outside society, they live inside it. They move through it, they are protected by it. Sometimes quietly, sometimes politely, sometimes by people who would be deeply offended if you called them complicit. That's the part people hate. They want evil to look exotic, rare, obvious. They want to believe danger arrives wearing a warning label and foaming at the mouth. But most of the time, it doesn't. Most of the time, it arrives socially integrated. It has friends, a partner, a family, co-workers, people who say things like, "He was always nice to me." I just can't imagine that. There must be more to the story. She probably misunderstood. Why ruin everyone's life over this now? That is the scaffolding, not just the predator, the architecture around him, the people who normalize, the people who minimize, the people who protect their own comfort by making the victim carry the burden of proof, the burden of tone, the burden of perfect behavior, the burden of not being too emotional, too late, too messy, too damaged. Funny how the burden is always so elegantly redirected. And men especially are often taught to picture the social world like a clean spectrum. Good men here, absolute monsters over there. But reality is much uglier and much more ordinary. There are men who would intervene, men who mean well but underestimate the problem, men who treat predation like bad weather, men who think some women invite mistreatment, men who enjoy the culture that feeds predation while pretending they personally are above it, men who know exactly who the predator is and stay quiet because speaking would be inconvenient. That silence is not neutral. That indifference is not moderate. That little shrug of, "Well, that's life," is not wisdom. It is part of the machine. And that's what people don't want to confront. Because once you admit predators have scaffolding, then the conversation stops being about one evil man in isolation. Now we have to talk about the audience, the apologists, the minimizers, the friends who vouch, the women who blame victims to preserve their own illusion of safety, the men who laugh it off, the communities that protect reputation more fiercely than they protect people. That is why this keeps happening. Not because predators are superhuman, not because victims are weak, but because society keeps offering cover to those willing to exploit it. Make no mistake about it, predators are not islands. They are connected to us. They are often the most revealing product of the shore that built them, excused them, and kept the lights low enough for them to keep moving. So no, the real divide is not between good people and one bad monster. The real divide is between people willing to see the structure and people emotionally invested in pretending it isn't there. And one of those groups is a hell of a lot safer for predators.